Okay, so now let's take a look at this again. This is our statistics field. So when I put this together, I had all my values over here in column A. I just kind of plugged them all in there, whatever the numbers were. It could be a simple copy and paste from the spreadsheet we're going to be working with. So to find the mean, remember I typed in equals average, open parenthesis, A:(A), close that parenthesis, that's where it was. For mode, I did the same thing. I used the word mode. Mean, I had to use average because there's no word from average for mean in there. Median. So all those are here, sitting right here on how I put those in. Now, we also had to make a histogram. That's going to be part of the project. We did a histogram before. We have the rules right here. Remember, we did the count if for the first column. Count if it was less than or equal to whatever the top of our interval value was. And then when we started into the next categories, it was equals count ifs with an S. And then we had the A:(A), and then if it was greater than or equal to the lower value of the interval, and then we did the interval again, A:(A), and then less than or equal to whatever the upper value was. Notice there is commas after the A's. There's quotes around the values, comma after that, comma after the A. Then I just use that same count ifs formula all the way down. Now this video is more about how do we make box and whiskers on here. Because when we insert a chart, there's no box and whisker in our list of charts that could happen. It just isn't there. All the charts that you've got, box and whisker is not in any of them. Now, however, if we look at the trend line, notice there is one here called a candlestick chart. That's what we'll use for our box and whiskers. We have to modify it just a little bit. But let me show you how that has to be done. So the first thing you have to do is you have to turn the values horizontally. And so the first thing you do is type in whatever your data title is. And this one here, I'm just calling it data title. Okay, so now I need to get the lowest number in that value again. I could type in the formula equals min A:(A), or I could just say equals, because I've already calculated that once, and then just go up in the list here and find where I had the lowest number. And that does it. For first quartile, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just run up here to the list where I already did the lower quartile. For the third quartile, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to run up here and find out where I had the upper quartile. There it is. And then for the highest value, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to run up here and grab the highest value. Okay, so now when I want to insert that chart, I need to highlight all of these values. So I need the data title as well as all these things. Now I can insert chart. And I'm going to choose, I'm going to click on that chart tab, and I'm going to choose trends, and I'm going to choose that candlestick. And notice it creates something that kind of looks like a box and whisker plot. So then I'm going to say insert that into my graph. So there I have it inserted in the graph right there. It kind of looks like the box and whisker, except it's going vertical instead of horizontal. The only other thing is it does not have the median value. It can only have the lowest value, the lower quartile, the upper quartile, and the highest value. It can't do the median in this particular program. So what we have to do then is we have to insert a drawing in this. To insert the drawing, all we need to do is insert a line. So I'm going to click on here and get line. And then I'm just going to draw in a horizontal line. Try to make it as straight as possible, so it'll look as nice as possible. And then I want to select the color of that line to be like red or something, so it'll show up a little better on that box and whisker. And then I say insert, and then I just got to find that line, wherever it happens to be on the grid there, and move it down. Sorry, grab a hold of it. Move it down onto my chart where the median really is. So it really should be about 25.5. So I'll stick it right there, and I'll put it there, and we'll just have to call that good. So to make a box and whisker plot, that's what we'll do. Is you'll have to make a horizontal graph, and as soon as you put that line on there, you can't really move that chart. You can still change your chart title to be whatever it was. You can change your axis values, change all that. I know part of the assignment you're going to make side-by-side ones, and this candlestick will make side-by-sides. So if I want to make a side-by-side, I would just add the next information underneath of this, and it'll make 2 of these for you. Okay, so that is the information on how to make a box in Whisker.